Hello, this is a timeless reading for all the air signs Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. I am using my own tarot cards, my medieval oracle cards, and we're starting with the Healer, followed by Laurels, Rainbow, Moon, Letter, and Lady Fortune. I feel like there is a completion, there's some kind of success, or even a degree in a medical field. Could be studying medicine, could be something about becoming a nurse, psychotherapy, anything that has something to do with healing. It could also be alternative healing, all kinds of stuff that has anything to do with healing the body or mind, or assisting other people in healing their own chronic or acute issues. There is also something here in this card about your personal life, your private environment. So it's not only regarding healing in a professional way, it's also about your friends or family members. They might show you some kind of acknowledgement, or they might come towards you for some kind of healing because they know you are very good at saying the right things, doing the right things. They might trust you with their health issues or their personal, emotional, psychological issues. So they might not only recognize that about you, but also admire it, appreciate it a lot. With the Healer card, yes, of course, on one hand, this represents you, whether you're a man or a woman. So what I already talked about, some kind of completion, some kind of success in a private and professional manner. But also this Healer card represents someone in your environment. This is either someone who has already been in your personal life, or someone who will enter your personal life or your professional life. For many, I feel like it is something in the future. It could be someone you do not know yet. This person has some good news for you. You might feel some kind of relief when you meet this person, because on one hand, if you are carrying a lot of responsibility on your shoulders and you feel that people around you in your personal and professional life, they put this kind of weight onto you, that they have expectations. They know that you are very good at something, at healing something in them, so they keep coming back. It also puts some kind of pressure or fear of failure. What happens if one day I can't help them anymore, or if there are too many people and it's not possible anymore to help all of them, or what if I'm in need one day, if I become sick or unhappy or traumatized, who will help me? And I feel like there will soon be a person around you that makes you feel like you found this kind of stability in another person. Like this person doesn't even have to say or do anything to you. You just, in the way this person is talking and how knowledgeable they are, how trustworthy, reliable, competent. You know, this person will represent a lot of positive qualities and will be a kind of complete package. This person might be of the same gender as you are. That's what I feel. It doesn't have to be, but I feel that somehow. If you're a man, it's a man. If you're a woman, it's a woman. I cannot say that this person is becoming a friend. Maybe this person will just be in your new professional environment, and you might not even really care if you develop a friendship out of the situation. It's just like, I'm glad this person is somewhere in my space, because I can sense that I can really trust this person, and takes away a lot of fear having this person in my environment, because I know for sure when I get sick or when I'm in the need of some kind of psychological, emotional support, this person will be there to really give good advice and a helping hand. And yeah, it's some kind of nice reflection. It's funny because in that sense you are similar. It's like reflecting each other. You are like this person is like you, but only in the sense of being reliable, being competent, being capable of healing and helping others. But maybe in your interests and the way you look, what you like, what you don't like, in some way you might be very different. It's very interesting. Yes, we have the laurels here, of course. They represent success. For some of you, it could also just be a metaphor for herbs, because I said earlier, it doesn't have to be, classical medicine. It can also be some kind of alternative healing that you're interested in that you are completing something here. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted by my pet right now. He's playing helicopter. So maybe that's a sign for you, and now he's grumpy. Yeah, I just feel like, well, there's also something spiritual coming from the Laurels card. Like putting something on your head that will free you from some kind of headache or worries or both. It could be a physical manifestation that developed out of some kind of psychological burdens. Like being extremely worried maybe for even 9 years that something is really messing with your head. It could just be a small itchy thing, but after a lot of time, or 9 months, it started to materialize in some kind of headache. And somehow there's something about placing something on your head that makes all of this go away. It has some kind of spiritual energy that brings a lot of light and ease to your head, to your mind. It feels holy. It feels like a halo. Also something, it's like a cycle here. But it's not an endlessly repetitive cycle that becomes boring or like a trap. It's a satisfying and complete cycle. With the rainbow card, this completion indicates some kind of transitioning There's a bridge. Something has been completed and now it's slowly time to move on, but it's slow. It's not immediately moving on. It's just like, yeah, celebrate, take a rest, pause, look back, what you've achieved. But something will softly open and something will gently keep calling you now. Slowly start to turn your head towards me, towards this opening, towards this bridge. Slowly consider moving on, because this was just the beginning. Maybe you have been learning for something for many, many years, practicing something for many, many years, and now you've completed something. And you thought this completion is the end, but actually this completion is the beginning. For a few of you, there's also something about death with the rainbow card, not your own death. There could be something, maybe an elderly person whose time you already know was slowly coming, that you might want to revisit someone here. There is something about spring and autumn in this card. Maybe something will either begin in spring and end by autumn, or the other way around. Maybe you have ended something in spring, maybe you have completed something in spring and then took a rest. And by autumn, around 6 months later, it's time to move on and find a new task, do something with what you have achieved. There is also something about rain, something is moist. There could literally be a lot of rain around you, and that will be some kind of sign for you. When there's a time where there's a lot of rain and it seems like it doesn't stop raining, it's a sign for you to really slowly keep your eyes open and take your laurels and use them somehow, somewhere. Maybe you have to move. Maybe it's just a big change. It's funny because I just suddenly realized that at the bottom of the deck you have the frog. This card I created also as a symbol for change. Also sometimes for sudden change. Maybe you, after you took a very long pause and you took some kind of time and space to consider moving on very, very slowly, after you finally start to move towards this bridge. Could be that everything suddenly changes very fast. First, everything's very slow and calm, silent, still, and then just take a few steps and then boom, you suddenly start to jump like the frog. Can sit frozen on a leaf, but as soon as she or he spots some kind of prey, for example, they can act very sudden. So the frog, of course, also represents change and transformation. So it's not only an external change, it's an inner transformation. Fast decision coming after a slow time. With the moon card here, This speaks to me of intuition. There is a tremendous importance on your intuitive capabilities. You might feel like you're on high alert spiritually. You might also perceive there's a shift in your perception entirely. Even in your physical, sensual perception, you might experience that you smell and hear more intense. Taste could also be more intense. And that you feel like there's something under your skin, some kind of radar suddenly awakening that, yeah, it just makes you feel very intuitive and even clairvoyant. With the letter card, I feel there's also something about a secret. Something was rolled up and couldn't be seen or couldn't be read. But it is opening, or you found a way to open something, or you finally have the time or nerve to open something. Or maybe what I feel like is most likely the case is that maybe you have an object in your environment that you didn't even realize is carrying a message. And now I'm jumping back to the transformation thing. It could be literally an object somewhere in your household that can in some way be transformed, that you have not realized that something that you own has a use that you didn't think of. I'm having a very hard time to make up an example. I only have a stupid example, like maybe realizing, oh, you have a weird cup at home that you barely use to drink your coffee out of, and then you realize, oh, actually I can, it has a certain mechanism, or there is something about this cup that I can twist or enhance, or, and then suddenly you realize you can make a bowl out of it, and it's very practical for soup. I don't know, it's a stupid example, but somehow that came to my mind. But it's more profound, it's deeper than it. Like, it also has a spiritual meaning. There could be a hidden message in it. It could even be that you find an old necklace and you never looked at it very closely. And when you do, after a few years, maybe even after 5 years, you realize something is engraved in this necklace, some kind of message. And then suddenly something will shift in you. Like, it's a huge sign, it's a huge proof. It's also very mysterious. You may not immediately understand or know whom this message is coming from, or you may not be able to remember who gave you this object or where you got it from. If you bought it yourself, if someone gave it to you. It's just something maybe in your space and you never realized really what it is or what kind of message it is carrying. We have Lady Fortune here. The card can come up in a negative way, also mostly in a positive. I mean, we would immediately assume that having this card is something positive, even though I created it with also a negative aspect. Let's go into both of the aspects. Like, on one hand, her eyes are blindfolded and you might not understand. Maybe there's a huge luck coming toward you, like, oh, I already have this kind of degree or appreciation or whatever it is. I have this completion here. And then I find this mysterious object. And I also have a really good intuition, and like my heart, my emotions, my mind, my professional life, my spiritual life, like everything is so good right now. And now Lady Fortune is coming and showering me maybe with material luck as well, but also, of course, it doesn't only have to be material luck. So this card can also indicate that there is some kind of guilt and comparison. Sometimes when we are envious or jealous, we compare ourselves to others, asking, why does this person have more than I? Why am I so unlucky? You know, all of this. But sometimes it's also the other way around, that you might feel guilty or ashamed for having more than someone else. And it doesn't have to be, in a material sense. It can also be just regarding your health or your romantic life. And if everything here is in completion, even though I'm not seeing anything about your romantic life here. Yeah, you might just wonder or worry, isn't it unfair? Lady Luck has her eyes blindfolded, so maybe it's just a weird coincidence that this stuff here is falling onto my head. It's being showered on me. Maybe I don't even deserve it. That's what I thought when I created this card. What kind of negative aspect could this card have for someone? So maybe that's also something that you might feel. But mostly you will just be grateful and happy. Maybe with the slight doubt in the back of your mind. It also feels like you yourself are, you represent this Lady Fortune card as well. It's just like in the beginning. You are the healer and you are Lady Fortune. You are the one who is healing others. You are also the one who is showering and spoiling someone with blessings and gifts. And it's also the other way around here. Maybe you have been a kind and healing person who shared with others a lot and never got really anything back. And now it's time that after many years or many decades, you will meet people who have the same good qualities that you have. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.